Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, and thank you to all the new subscribers. Now, I'm not going to go over exactly what my captain build is and my modules, but I will show you a picture of them. The other thing is, don't want to make these videos extremely long. Here's the team lineup, and if you notice, because I have personal issues with APOC's leaderships of being complete fucking jagoffs, we have an APOC member in here. Does not mean that I'm going to do everything I can to win. In all honesty, I actually don't even know Derpy McDerp or whatever his name is. I will just refer to him as Mr. Derp. Now, as you can see, we are on hotspot. We are going to A. I'm sure there's plenty of radar in there somewhere. Yeah, we got a Worcester we got to worry about. Moskva. Now, the reason I am going to A here is because our CV spawned over here. If you notice, I am not running defensive fire because this is more set up for clan battles, and I still have been messing around with gearing builds and what is actually going to be a little bit more comfortable for me. I do believe there's a little bit more gun focus instead of torpedo focus. I mean, that may change again. But as you can see, I'm trying to use the island here as best as possible to conceal me. This is usually the spot the north side DD likes to go. I see a plane and I'm thinking, oh crap. But what I'm doing is actually turning out, slowing down because I want to reverse in because I want to have a very fast getaway. I want to be able to just hit W and get the hell out of Dodge instead of having to use smoke and reverse out slowly. I'd rather get out faster instead of slower. Now I'm using my torpedoes on all of these guys to see exactly what they're doing. It's also another trick of, switch back and forth between torps and guns to potentially fool them. Now another thing is, this may not be the most exciting gameplay. I'm not going to pick out my best fucking games and showcase them here. That's usually what BIA is for. As I get spotted and switch to my guns to see it's a a Z23. Now here's a little trick or tip or thought for you guys. I don't know the Z23's exact hydro range, but I do know a Z52 is 5.8. I do know the Z52 gets German hydro. I do believe the restaurant line gets like a standard hydro, which is 4 point something. I don't know what the point something is, but what I do know is it's less than 5 kilometers, and it's less than 5.8. So if you don't exactly know what the exact hydro range is, well, if I know I stay 5.8 kilometers away, I'm good because that's what the Z is. I do know that the Z only has standard hydro, which means it's less than 5 kilometers. So if you have trouble remembering certain things, try to compare it to something else. May help you out. Now the other thing is, for those of you that, love my rant videos, there won't be so much a whole rant in the series or in my replays, but there will be moments where I do completely, I'm going to sit there and bitch about something. Now, why did I drop torpedoes when I was spotted by torps? It was the guarantee the rune would turn away. Now, I am getting on A-cap. Our carrier has got to move, which I completely disagree with. I don't know why he's just sitting there. But as you can see, he is helping to defend A. Crap, spotted again. Start pummeling this guy. But luckily for us, the friendly carriers in the area. And this is what I mean about, just hitting W. Now, I unfortunately hit W a little bit too much and get out of the cap the first time when really all I had to do was do what I did there and just go forward a quarter. Now, I know there's not torpedoes coming, and you may ask yourself, how do you know torpedoes are not coming? DD wasn't shooting, that's usually a sign. Because our carrier was over him, the poor guy got detonated, and there's no torpedoes. So I know torps are not coming. Now, the other thing is, maybe we'll just blow this up a little bit. I ain't going to pause the video, but as you can see, all we got is a North Carolina, stupid, absolutely stupid. You know, there's what, four ships over here, plus I think the enemy carrier might have been over here. Four ships over here. You're out by yourself. There's nothing else for him to shoot at. We got our Iowa at the top of A. He may be stopping these guys. Probably got shots on this battleship, but you know, the other three guys are comfortably behind the island that easily killed the NC. Our carrier is finally moving, which is a good sign because he can see what the hell is coming up. If these four fucking idiots, all four of these guys, started pushing, they'd have A. But because there's a DD in the area and he's got torpedoes, there's absolutely nothing they can do to potentially not die. You can see our Zao is playing long range Zao stuff. Whatever. You know what? It's what a Zao does. You know, get aggressive, you'll get citadel, but when the enemy gets aggressive, you can never citadel them. But you know, like, these guys know that there is a DD still here because while I capped, I just got spotted. I got torps going out against the rune. Those are more or less trying to beat the turrets as I get a flood. Started laughing. Our Iowa's in no position to help, but our carrier is. Now I have my AA turned off. I will turn it on to maybe help the guy, but I know I can lob shells over. Kind of at this point, in all honesty, I had a mental brain fart. I'm like, oh my god, I wish I had a spotter plane. I'm like, I'm in a DD. Now at this point, if you notice in chat, the carrier actually says he's pulling out. These guys have still yet to push in here, and I'm about to check out that the rune actually turned away and stopped running. And look, the enemy carrier is on his side, and he not once tried to get me. Iowa's lonely. Don't know why I didn't try to get that.
Our team has taken the lead.
But seeing that these guys were so afraid to push made me stay in the area. Another reason I stayed in the area is because I wanted to make sure the CV got away, which is why I didn't immediately run when he called it out. Number two, I actually did miss him calling it out, but I was paying attention to the mini-map. I saw that he started moving. I'm like, well, you know what? I'll delay a little bit just to make sure that the guy gets away clean. And then right here, greed kind of sets in. I'm like, well, here comes an idiot battleship. Let me try to get him. And this guy's pushing in by himself. I don't know what the Alabama's doing. Don't know where the rune is, but he's low health, so he's trying to get some health. And, you know, Dizal kind of doesn't really push in. Now, what I'm going to do is smoke up here and hope to God that somebody else actually has line of sight on this guy and just start plinking this guy. But because these guys decided to move in one at a time, they just lost their curve first. Dizal is playing a kiting game, which, I mean, what the hell is he kiting? Me? I guess he could be kiting the Iowa, but he would have been better off just pushing in, dropping his torps, and then, you know, letting something else finish it. And look, he killed him with torps anyways. He would have been in a better position to potentially push me away. Now, the carrier is keeping fighters over here, and I'm going to assume for two reasons. Probably noticed I'm in smoke because he gave me a good job with the torps. Sorry about the sniffle, guys, but you know, I'm still gonna try to cut it out here. Now I don't have to worry about Zal torps coming, and finally the Alabama decides to start pushing. But you want to guess he's gonna do this alone? This is what, like, you know, like my goal is to, you know, not call out bad plays or bad players, but it's to show mistakes that the enemy does. Does make, you know what, because when you see certain situations, you have to realize what the hell is going on. Now, I'm sitting broadside in a smoke cloud, and I should be ripple firing. I believe I am ripple firing. The reason you ripple fire is so it's harder for them to figure out where you are, but you know, I'm just sending everything at once. See the Zal. I'm like, hey, I already got a fire on the Alabama. The Alabama turns away because, oh my God, the DD's shooting at him. The Alabama would have just pushed in with the Zal. God knows how things would have changed. And I know the Zal's pushing in straight. And you know what? I'm thinking, what? Hopefully one of these torps is going to hit them. If they don't, maybe they'll get the Alabama. But I have definitely stayed at a way too long, and I did not get punished for it because people were afraid to get torped. If it's one DD and he sent his torps, unless you know he's got a torp reload booster, you lost one ship. You gotta push the DDs. You gotta get them out of the area. They offer way too much to the team. The other thing was I have no idea that the rune was coming up on that way, even though that's where RPF was pointing. I was actually going to start shooting the Zal, but that ribbon came up, and that's what made me look to see what it was. And like, it wouldn't be a good idea. But even the rune should have pushed up through the middle instead of taking the long way when he was getting his health. Now I'm taking shots in on the Zal just to get cap resets. I also have my smoke available, so if anything gets hairy, I can just hit my smoke. I noticed the Zal's guns aren't looking at me, so they must be the runes, which means, you know what, I'm just going to keep punishing the Zal. This video is actually wrapping up really quickly, just because people were afraid to push me. The carrier does ask me who I want dead. More importantly, is, oh look, the rune or the Zal starts looking at me. Pop my smoke cloud. You just whiffed again. I'm gonna hit my F3 key for the Zal because you know what? I want him dead. Because he's got longer range torpedoes than the rune. I'm not worried about the rune at all. Because I was gonna send my own torps against the rune to keep pushing him away as the game ended. Now, what I'll say about the whole APOC thing is I don't have a problem with the members. There are still quite a few that I will play with and I do enjoy playing with. But as far as their leadership goes, Voss, Boot, Cleo can all suck my dick and they're a bunch of pussies. Now, remember, I honestly believe the reason we won this was because of the carrier and myself. The carrier realized the situation. We, for the most part, held the A flank because everybody was afraid to push me at once. I would have killed one of them, but if they would have pushed me, they would have gotten A. They would have been in an AA bubble, would have neutralized the carrier's effectiveness, and they possibly could have gotten A and turned the game around. But they were all afraid to get torps or be dive bombed, and in the end, they just lost it because they were afraid. Please hit that like and subscribe button and have yourselves one heck of a good day.